I feel stuck. I feel really stuck with where I currently am, and I'll go through my results towards the end, but I thought it's good to give me and you a perspective of what I'm feeling currently going through. Like, we're right in the thick of this. We're as deep as you can get into the epitome of trading, where every single trader will have to eventually feel this before actually getting out of the rut, actually becoming consistently profitable. So I've been stuck in this phase for a very, very long time, and I feel like the worst part isn't when you've lost the most amount of money in a trade. The worst part is when you realize you're actually stopping yourself from being super consistent because there are elements of your trading that you haven't quite gotten the ability to uphold a good quality of that skill set just yet. You haven't really unlocked that level of mastery. So if I just stick to my plan, my system, my 4 point checklist, which I have been doing very well on for the majority part, there has only been a couple of mistakes. If I just stick to it, I will get to where I want to quicker. I will get a funding account. I will pass my challenge. I will become profitable. I'll get that payout. So for me, I know that I will come out of this alive if I just stick and continue to put in the work without knowing what's going to happen in the future. The worst part for me is that every single time I'm thinking about the small progress that we're making and where I currently stand in terms of, look, I need the money. I just want to make it work. I'm just not seeing results quick enough. That's what's going through my head. I just know that you have to stick through it. The hardest part for me is not knowing what actually is going to happen, but I know it will happen. I just don't know when. That's what's biting away at me. Like I said, I've been trading for 3 years, and well, for beginning of 3 years now, and I feel like there's always going to be an element of you that says, is this actually going to work? But then there's also the other side of me that says, well, yes, it's going to work, because one thing is I don't want to give up on it. I've put so much time and energy into it, and I've seen so much progress that I've never even achieved anything even greater than this. By the way, that's not doesn't really sound very smart of me, but when I'm in school, I do things to a standard, but not. I know I can do better, if you know what I mean. And that's kind of been the same thing for everything else in my life. Whereas what we're actually trying to do, what I'm trying to do now is I've put my mindset into trading, and I want to make the most of it. I want to become not just standard, but actually become the best version of myself. That is, again, one of the biggest reasons why I chose trading. And again, why I like going to the gym so much, because the two mindsets are very, very similar. You both stimulate your mindset and have that form of discipline. Sometimes I don't want to get up to go to the gym, but I go anyway. And when I'm at the gym, I may as well do my workout. The same thing happens when you're on the charts. If you don't want to trade, but you just come to the charts and you do your analysis and you follow the system, you actually end up just doing it. And that's why both of those in tandem go so well. But I think if you quit now, for example, for me, I've been trading, like I said, for almost 3 years. If I quit now, I've got nothing to show for it if I leave the industry. Nothing at all. Trading is not like starting a business where you can start a business, fail at it, but understand, okay, maybe I have to work more on my marketing skill set, or maybe there is a different form of skill set with scaling a company or even getting your first sale that you can take into starting a new business. Well, with trading, you don't have that, because all of the skills that you're learning can only be used on the charts. It can't be used anywhere else. Sure, you're going to get quality on building skill sets, for example, on your timing, on your routine, on your mental discipline, and your psychology. For sure, that's okay. But in terms of the skill sets on the fundamental sides of things, you're never going to take that skill set pretty much anywhere else outside of this industry. So it's not as forgiving as other careers. So if you fail, or if you not fail, but you quit, you have nothing on a resume that says, I've done X that I can push to another form of job. So for me, that's also one thing that's keeping me driving forward. If you quit now, you actually have nothing to show for it until you start winning. Until you actually come out of the right side, then if someone asks you what you're up to, you actually have a result to show for it. I suppose that is what I'm chasing, which for me, honestly, I'm just so lost. I've been in this game for such a long period of time that I think, and I'm not really seeing too many results. Again, maybe it could be I'm not pushing hard enough. Like I said, I've been very focused on trying to risk that 1% every single trade, but I don't have the guts to calculate properly. On the most part, most of my trades are 1%, but some of them I kind of pass up the opportunity and say, 0.5% is okay, and it's still an A+ setup. But then I end up seeing it run to full TP, and I could have passed the account if I had a 1% risk, because it's a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, but it really does suck. The only way out is to win. And even if you don't quit, if you don't take the risk and follow through with every single step of my plan, I'm costing myself time. So I have to pivot the way I'm thinking in the markets to not save your risk, but actually go with what you intend to do. You risk 1% per every trade. It's mathematically correct, because you don't want to be in my shoes where I'm like, I'll risk 0.5%. And then I actually win that trade, and you realize, wait, but now I've got to take another trade to make 1%. That wasn't the plan from the get-go. The get-go was, I want to pass this account to get 6% profit target in 3 trades, taking a 1 to 2 risk to reward. And I'm sitting here taking, I think 10 trades. If we just go look at what we've got, you've got what? From 10 to... I've taken 13 trades. I said I was going to take 3. Do you see what I'm trying to get at here? I think playing this game of the funded challenge is a big kind of shift from live accounts where you're like, yeah, I can slowly scale. This one is ROI. And again, I have to get on this mindset and shift of basically the plan, the strategy is you don't want to baby the account. I've said it multiple times, I don't want to baby this account. I have to just go with the A+ setups, risking 1%. The hardest element for me, it's not the execution. My trading system works. I follow it every single time. But it's the patience and the psychology. This week has not been very good. And it's not because I lost. I actually came out plus 8 ticks on the week, which again is not very impressive, but nevertheless, it's not about the execution, it's about the patience. I feel for new traders right now because the market conditions have been absolute, they're rubbish. But for me, I feel like it's given me a very, very big new focus point, which is one of my weaknesses, patience and psychology. Monday through Wednesday, we did absolutely phenomenal on the charts. I said, look, I'm not going to take a trade position until an A+ setup occurs, until I get the validation, even though we know where price wants to go. And that's what really, really hurt, because I always see price action go to the full TP, but I never had a validation for me to get into. And even if I did get the validation, it wouldn't be a 1 to 2, therefore invalidating the A+ setup requirement. And the psychology, because when it starts getting in your head that, oh my gosh, it's going to be an entire week where I've got no trades, then you'll have the impulse, the urge to say, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to enter the trade. I don't care. And I came very close to that. I did come very close to that. I did actually do it. I think it was on Thursday. I took it on Thursday's trade, and I'm not very pleased about it either. Thursday's trade position, minus 46 ticks, and I did a review on this. It's the previous video that I did, and I took it on a rebreak of the high, knowing that we didn't have a retest to the hour candle lows, which was right here. We didn't have the low. I took the candle buy on these candles here. Price action on the next candle came down, broke the lows, and then pushed up to your full TP. Because I didn't listen to my requirement, it cost me the position of minus 46 ticks. So For me, the weakest point is the trading psychology and trying to basically push myself further now. Comparing myself to the previous versions of me when I'm on the charts, I am better. There's no doubt about it. I can say to myself very confidently that I'm a much better, more disciplined, and more, how do I say this, more patient on the charts. But there are still weak points that are griping at me. So all of this week has exposed my trading weaknesses. It is not the execution, it is the patience and the psychology, and keeping your mindset in that healthy loop that says, look, as a trader, you're getting paid to wait, not to execute every single day. When you start shifting your mind, because I've just done that, I heard someone else say this too, so it's not an original by me. If you learn to shift your mindset to you have to wait in order to get paid because you don't want to form a bias around, you don't want to form your requirements around what the market's printing. You want the market to print the requirements to form around you. When you start shifting your mindset and psychology to understanding that yes, you cannot take the position until the market has continuously proven to validate your checklist, that is the right mindset. For me, I've been thinking like that, but there are still things in my head that tells me, oh, I've just had enough. I've been sitting here all week getting nothing. That's my weakness. That's the weakest point that I've ever stooped down to, is understanding that I've just disrespected all of my work over the course of the 2 years, 3 years. And I've just gone back to Lewis in year one, where I had no form of risk management. I had no form of limitation and discipline on the charts. I just took trades where I saw was possible. So for me, shift the mindset, focus on waiting to get paid and waiting for the market to prove to you, give you irrefutable proof that price action is going to print exactly what you need before you enter the markets. All of this is coming from what I'm experiencing now. I'm in the middle of something that I know has the potential to give me big returns. Everyone in this industry knows that it's all about scalability. When you know how to pass one funded, you know how to stack, you know how to trade live accounts, the game is infinite. You can print money out of thin freaking air in this game. So I know that I have the potential to achieve big things. But the sacrifice is seeing no results first. And that's the biggest struggle. For me, maybe for you, and I hope if there is someone that is experienced watching this, please leave me some of your advice. Or if you are also sharing the same kind of experiences with me, please also share your thoughts in the comments. I believe in myself that I'm going to achieve the goals that I've set myself. And like I said at the start of the video, when I was in school, I always did things to like the minimum standard. I passed all my things, I passed all my grades, I got good grades, but they weren't phenomenal, right? I know I could have done better if I actually put my head down and actually focused on doing something and putting my mind to it. I definitely would have come out with better, and that is something that I want to actually push towards the charts. So I've just given you my 2 cents, I've given you my pep talk, kind of a little rant for the price action that we've gotten this week. But let's go into basically what I've achieved this week. So the previous video that I posted was my mistake on Thursday, and that was the minus 46 ticks that we had, that I made the costly mistake. I'm starting to get new views, by the way, so I'm pretty grateful for you guys. Thank you very much for that. Now, we are back up. So we were at 38% in this video, and we brought it back up. So we're back at 42%. Still got 58% to go. And this next 58% needs to come next week. Because I have a goal in mind. I'm going away, so I'm going to go on holiday. I'm still going to be trading, but I go away in mid-May. And I would like my challenge to be completely passed, finished, and into a funded account by that time. And if I'm hardworking enough and I can actually execute good enough trades, if the market presents itself, then I will hopefully have a payout before I go away. That's the ultimate goal, is just to see myself get a good account, get the payout before I go away. So when I do go away, I have the confidence that I can actually make money abroad, that I can make money anywhere. The biggest thing, the goal now is to just give myself proof that this actually works. It's not about the quantity of money. It's about actually getting the money and seeing that money being transferred into your account and seeing, damn, this is actually possible. That's what I'm working towards. That's all I'm working towards. I'm not asking much from myself here. Yet the psychology and everything needs to go together. That's the hardest part about this. Now, I'm not too sure if I've really explained too much, if you're getting confused. The moral is, work your fucking ass off. Every single time you fail, don't think about quitting. Think about how you're going to get up and go again and become better. I've been going through this cycle for 3 years. For the better part of 3 years. And I still haven't fully grasped it. I'm a very slow learner. I keep going to use my analogy of school because I just keep thinking of school. I met up with some old friends yesterday, so it's bringing back a lot of memories. I was a very, very slow learner. I'd always ask my teachers a bunch of questions. I'd always have to read the context of, let's say for maths, I'd have to go through the algebra content 50 times more than the average student. Like my friend, he only had to glimpse at it twice, or maybe even once, and he just aced the tests. Whereas for me, I'd have to flip back and understand it and then try and figure out what's wrong and then ask a bunch of questions. And then at the end of the day, I still don't understand it and I'd go to sleep extremely frustrated. Same thing as with trading. For me is I can execute all of the things. However, I keep falling into the same loophole. And for me to identify the weakness, for me was quite hard. So now I'm actually speaking to a camera. I find it easier to record myself talking about my problem, so when I review it and someone else reviews it, they can probably identify what my weakness is. So I'm just doing what's best in my interests, and hopefully this is also providing you value. So we're 42% back up on the progression bar. We're trying to get up to 100. We're trying to get that 6% profit target. I want to see myself get a really good quality A++ setup next week. Follow the risk, follow the rules, follow the plan. That's all I'm asking for myself. So I hope this has provided some value, and we'll see what brings us in the new week.